Today we are going to look at a plugin called Dehancer, or rather Dehancer Pro. Now I will say at the beginning of this, for full disclosure, that I did receive a copy to make this video as well as try for free. But what I think of it and my thoughts and opinions are 100% my own. I'm not getting paid for this. Dehancer Pro is available for DaVinci Resolve, Adobe After Effects / Adobe Premiere, and Final Cut Pro. I'll be showing you how it works on Final Cut Pro. It should work similarly depending on what program you're running. It's also worth noting that while this is not free, they do offer a free trial. Links will be in the description below. Also, I would like to mention that there is an app for the iPhone and iPad for the Dehancer, and it actually is an app for both photo and video editor. So you sort of get the best of both worlds, and there's some additional tools in there. I'll check it out in a future video. If you guys want, let me know, comment section below. In order to actually download it, you go to the website, again provided in the link in the description below, and then once you go to that website, you'll hit download, and for a trial you'll select which version you have and whatnot, and then you just have it download, and then after it downloads you install it. You follow the prompts to install it. Now if you did purchase a paid license, it's very important you go through this step. Now this footage I have here, feel free to ignore it. This is just for the purposes of activating the license, because by default you will have a watermark there, and it will say please buy license to remove the watermark. So what we're going to do is drag this on the footage. It will give you a bunch of options here, okay? And once it does that, we are going to scroll to the bottom here, okay? Under license, and then it will pop up not active. You can either log in or you can enter a license key directly. You will need to confirm your email, then enter the license key. You can find the license key on the website under user profile license information. And then as you can see, the license info was entered for me, so I do not have any more watermark. Now we're gonna get back to some actual footage. I just wanted to sort of show you guys how to activate it if you're having trouble activating your license that you bought. You may be wondering what this is for, who this is for. Well, okay, so I will explain. Okay, so these days when you record video footage, again, this also works on images, which I'll do a separate video covering images if you guys want. I don't want this video to be too long itself. But when you record videos on your iPhone, such as this footage was shot on, don't mind the dusty Stream Deck. I know I need to dust it. I'm working on it. Okay, I am definitely working on it. Well, as you can see, it's pretty sharp, detailed right now, but it's not the best in the world, meaning that it's too sharp, okay? We want it to look a bit more natural, which is where the Dehancer Pro plugin actually comes in. Makes it look a bit more natural, a bit, maybe it's shot on an older camera and whatnot, and not an iPhone that captures all the detail. So let's go on and put this here, shall we? Right there, you can already see a difference. If we go here, we can see this is the after and this is the before. As you can see, there are a lot. It's interesting because you see a bit more graininess. It's not as sharp, but at the same time, it's more natural. You can actually change a lot of settings here. Like we can change the exposure if we want. Like we can just make it, let's go about here, make it a little more exposed. We can change the temperature. This would be colder, this would be warmer. So we want to give like that warm, homey type vibe. Like that's a lot warmer already. I mean, we could even move this back here and there. That would be good. We can tint it, right? We don't need to tint it personally, so we'll probably keep that there. We can play around with this a bit, but honestly, I'll probably just leave that how it is. Leave that how it is. Leave that disabled like it is. And yeah, there's just a lot you can do. We could download some profiles. Actually, let's click download profiles and see what it does right here. And yeah, we have a few more options available as well. We can expand the black point right there to, you can see the reflection of my chair right there, which is quite interesting. But no, we'll keep that there. We can also change the white point, but we're gonna keep that there. We can change the color, normal, luma. We can just change all of this stuff. We can even add more film grain if we want. I don't think I want too much film grain, if I'm being perfectly honest, because it seems quite a bit crazy. Let's go with negative so we can get that more film grainy effect we have there. We can mess with the bloom. We can mess with just about everything. We also have a LUT generator. So we can actually save this right here as a LUT, which I think is pretty cool, honestly. We can save this right here as a LUT, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and make it normal size and export it. Now there was a small issue with exporting LUT. It told me I had to download this, which wasn't working at first, download profiles, but it's actually working right now. It's under the film section to download profiles, and it looks like it downloaded all of them. So it just has a bunch of preloaded profiles for us. So we don't even have to necessarily play around with our own setting. Like, say we want to go back to the golden age of codec. We can just have that there. That's actually very close to what we had anyway. And then there we go with that. We can just play around with it a little bit further if we want to, if we think that it's not as we wanted it, we can play around with everything a bit more, or we can just disable that if we want. If we want to disable that, we can. And now let's try to export the LUT yet again. Okay, so it did after a while tell us we had to select these options here. So we did select them, and now we should be able to export a LUT. Okay, so after troubleshooting, it's not working at the moment. I'm sure they will have it fixed in the future. From what I hear, they are constantly working on stuff to make it easier, make it better to do. I'm actually leaving this part in right now so the devs actually have feedback and maybe they can do something to improve this process, maybe streamline it a bit more. And of course, I will update you guys in the future, maybe in another video we will see. But let's get into it further, okay? So, as you can see, this is way different than what we had originally. Let's go back to what we had it. Okay, let's go back. All we have to do is turn off some of these options. And like that, we are back to what we were. Now, I'm going to turn this off again so I can show you guys. This is how it was originally. This is how we got it. It's one of those things that it's more crisp originally, but at the same time it's darker. So there's honestly elements from both of these that I do like quite a bit. And if I am being honest, this right here feels a little more, realistic, even though this is technically more realistic because it is the original. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to delete both of these, okay? We are going to get rid of both of these because we're going to do a sort of, I'll show you guys. Okay, now this is some video game footage, okay? This is basically like a non-use case scenario, okay? So keep in mind, this is not what it was intended for at all in any way, shape, or form. But we are going to try it anyway, okay? If you're watching this, Dehancer plugin makers, I apologize. I just had to try it. So let's go ahead and double click to add it already. See, as you can see, it did already change a bit to begin with, which is interesting. We can play around with the exposure as we want, but I have a better idea. We're going to go straight to different things here. Like for this one, I think we might want to go straight to the Polaroid. And that's interesting, okay? What's interesting about it is that it's even doing anything for, like I said, this is a video game. This is more intended use for real life type thing. Okay, that looked pretty cool. And then if we play the game, we can see a bit of it in action, and honestly, not bad. If you wanting, okay, like I said, this is not the real use case scenario for it. I don't know if they plan on expanding it to uh, video games, but I don't really know if that's like their target clientele right now. But I make video game footage. I play video games on my other channel, so I figured I'd test it out just for the fun of it. And, it lets us do basically what we want. This is the before, this is with it added. It doesn't really have a, oh, this is non-real life footage, it's not going to work type thing. You put it on top of footage, it's going to do what it does best. But yeah, with that said, let me know what you guys think of this. Do you guys think it's worth the purchase? Do you want free trial it yourself and see how it works? Like I said, they do have a version for Final Cut Pro, which I'm using now, DaVinci Resolve, and Adobe Premiere / After Effects. So keep that in mind. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment section below, and I will catch you guys in the future. Later.